Shabbat Shalom to all of you. This parasha of this week is the continuation of this beautiful discourse that Moshe Rabbeinu is giving to the second generation. I call it, he's now acting as a grandfather instead to be the father. No, it's the second generation. And he's talking to them in a way that is comparing what happened to the first generation and telling the second generation, you are still doing the same things. You have not evolved too much, but you need to be on guard, and you need to be aware of something. And this parasha starts with, Re. Look out. Look. See. Be aware of something, what is happening. And and then he said, because I am putting before you two things, blessings and curses. Now, this is a beautiful entrance and something that has been talking to you for the last years. Do you remember these terms? Bechira Chofshi, free will. And this is something that most of the religion has taken away from there. Why they like to take away the Bechira Chofshi, the free will? Because in that way, I can blame somebody else for my actions. In that way, I am not responsible for what I do. I told you last week that the new generation that we had, the millennium generation, the generation of the entitlement. The generation that supposedly, I didn't ask my parents to be born. But for that reason, I was born and they owe me something. And parents are trying to buy their children back. Generation before, there used to be that the children would go out and then they would take care of their parents. Today, we have changed the situation. Now, are the parents who are taking care of the children until they are, I don't know how, 90 years old. No, this has changed our views. And we are taking responsibilities away from our children. Are allowing our children to get away with murder. And everything is in that way. In the 60s and 50s and 60s came Dr. Spock. And you remember Dr. Spock talked to everybody. From now on, we do not need to really reprimand or we need to discipline our children. The only thing that we need to do with our children, what it is, to give it free rein. Let them do whatever they want to do. Let them develop their own imagination. Like any living thing, that you plant a plant or an animal that is born and grows, and they grow, and the only thing that they do is through the time they grow in size, and they produce other things. The trees produce fruits, the animals, they multiply. Then you don't need to do anything. Let the children grow up as an adult. And what happened? We are today in a generation that we have lost all our basic values from the Torah. We are living in a reverse society, if I can call it. I have told you so many times that today we are living in a society in which what used to be good is now bad. And what used to be bad now is good. And this is the society that we are living. And also, we have seen the very developed societies that they call the progressive societies, especially in Europe and North America. They are bashing, or they are bowing their heads to other societies that are imposing their means and their ways through force. And they believe in the idea of the appeasement. What I mean, the appeasement, it is, again, Dr. Spock, don't bother them. Don't tell them they're doing anything wrong. Allow them to do, and they are going to calm down. It's the same idea about in the old times, in the prehistoric times when the people that had a religion and they were going to their gods to appease them. Please don't do anything to me, but I'm going to give you everything that you ask me. But basically, that is how the societies, especially in Europe, they are acting. And we are seeing the results today. right now there is it's a chaotic situation. They have destruction all over. This is the saddest part. Yesterday, I was watching the news, and no one of the news say that this was an act of terrorism by the religious Islam religion or the fanatics of that religion. No one. The only they say was they are assassins, they are terrorists, they're doing evil, they're killing people. But they don't mention. Why? Because they are trying to separate, supposedly this religion from the evil of these people. But where these people get that evil ideas? Okay? From the religious leaders. And who the religious leaders are teaching? Hate against anybody who is different to me. Is it on their God? But why we cannot say the truth? No, now that there are many thousands of millions of good, fearing, Lord, and I believe that they are. Okay, but them, where are they? Okay, are they hiding? Are they afraid the others? Why they don't come back and they say, you are kidnapping my religion? That is not what my religion teach. Totally the contrary. Looks like that they themselves are enjoying what other people are doing. Because there is a saying in Spanish, el que calla otorga. That means if you keep silent, you are giving the right to those people. Then you are a complex of that. Well, here in this portion, first of all, we need to see something that is interesting to me. In chapter 11, no, at the end he say, let me find it. In chapter 12, Deuteronomy, verse 28. This is a very interesting statement I'm going to start. (12:28). Faithfully keep and obey all these things that I have told you, I am giving to you, so that you and your children after you may prosper forever. What is good and right, and do what is good and right in the eyes of the Lord your God. And do what is good and right in the eyes of your God. By the way, verse 13:1, again, is going to tell you something very interesting. In the Hebrew Bible, in the Christian Bible, is 32, I think it's 32, I think it's 32. No, I'm sorry, 12:32. 12:32. But in the Hebrew Bible, it's 13:1. I need to check the numbers. Whatever I am commanding you, you must keep on observing. Do not add or take anything away from it. Again, they're saying that Deuteronomy 4:2. You're going to say, what is going on here? There is a great debate among the sages, among the people, even among the religious people, about what is right and what is wrong. The ethics versus values, the values of the Torah, the morals of humanity. Who is more righteous, the Creator or us as human beings? And you will be surprised. But in today's society that we are living, most of the people think they are more righteous than the Creator. Why? Because they are repairing the wrong thing that the Creator has taught. This is the message that we are receiving. And you're going to see by the changes of values that we have today, the imposition of the moral values of this society. They call it the human values of humanism. And humanism supposedly has imposed over the divine revelation. What is the Torah? No, when the Creator gave us the basic principles, I call it the 10 words of the 10 commandments. By the way, that is the basic principle, the 10 commandments. In these 10 commandments is everything. You find there everything. And everything after that are only certain clarifications or certain adaptation of certain principles. That sometimes you do not have it clear and they will give you for that time or for that moment. But the eternal principles, the one they don't change forever and ever, is the 10 commandments. That's his word. That's what he has given to us. And this is the basic understanding. The moral turpitude of the humanity is based on this. I don't know how many times there are people that they think our God is a regional God. We have not changed too much from the time of the beginning of creation, in which every civilization, every group or every nation, they have their own regional gods. My God is different than your God. My God is better than your God. Or my God was better here than your God was over there. No? And we have lost this idea. Shema Israel Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. There is only one. Only one. There are no two, no three. There is no regional God from this side. There is no regional God from this side. The God of the Muslim is different than the God of the Christians. And the God of the Christians is different from the God of the Jews. No? And each one they say, my God is better than your God. And each one say there is only one God. Then you need to ask yourself, which God we are talking about? Well, let me tell you this. There is only one God, and this is a God who creates the whole universe and creates human beings. We were made to his likeness and image. And when he blew his ruach and put his neshama, his spirit in us, he gave us to be like him. We were made on his image and likeness. What it means is, not that he gave us 2 eyes, a nose and a mouth, and he gave us 2 ears. Not that he gave us 2 arms and he gave us 2 legs. Sorry to tell you, that's not what it means. That is a Greek understanding. That is a pagan understanding. What it means when he say he make us his likeness and image is that he gave us this, he gave us this, and he gave us this. In other words, he gave us the capability to think, to act, and to do. To make decisions, to communicate, to talk. We are the only one that talk. We are the only one that write, and we are the only one that we give our thoughts. We form our thoughts and we develop our ideas. You can ask a parrot that supposedly speaks very well, in a certain language. I don't know which language he imitates, But give a parrot to go to write a book, he will have a little bit of problems. They say that the dolphins and the whales, they communicate, they have a communication, and the monkeys too. Tell them to write something, to make something to express. They cannot. Only us, we have been made to the likeness and image of the Creator. Now, if you come from the theory of you've been created by fluke, that's if you believe and that you want to believe in that way, you believe in that way. If you were created by only a mistake, that's if you are a mistake. But the truth of the matter, it is that we were made to the likeness and image of God. Okay? Now, this makes us different to the rest of the creatures and the rest of everybody. But you see, including Israel, listen carefully, including Israel, was created by him. In other words, Israel is part of the humanity. Oh, somebody will say, how can you say that? Israel is part of the whole human beings. And the idea of the Creator to give to Israel this special purpose, to be Or Legojin, was only to give his Torah, to distribute the Torah to the rest of the world. Because already the world was going to their own way. No? We have just read here in a portion that the people were doing whatever they wanted to do, and the Creator is telling them not to do whatever they want to do. Totally the contrary. He's telling to be united, to be one. And they were coming to the promised land. They were going to get in and to conquer the promised land, and what they were going to possess means to take it over, and they needed to clean it, and after to clean it, they were going to be dispersed. But I always gave to the people of Israel what I call it a focus point. What is the focus point? The Mishkan. In that way, everybody, they could see through that focus point that later on became Jerusalem, the center. You know? And that was going to be the focus point for the Jewish people, wherever they were in the world, dispersed or not dispersed. They were looking at there, and they were going to be there looking at the Creator. That's how the Creator made Israel. And Israel had a purpose. And he said, I am giving you today, blessings and curses. And he's talking about the portion, in this portion, the portion of the mitzvot. He's talking exclusively about the relationship of man with him, with the Creator. Later on, he's going to extend it, chapters 26 and 27, 28, they're going to extend it for the Hukim and Mishpatim. But here is talking specifically about the mitzvot. And what is the mitzvot? These three first commandments. The relationship that we have with the Creator. That we need to be faithful to him. We cannot replace it for all other gods. Do you know what religions do? All the religions? One of the purposes of all the religions is supposedly to point you to the Creator, no? To the true God. And each one of the religions, what they do is they create their own God. And they create their own ways how to reach that God. And our Creator always says to us, I am here. Come to me. You don't need to go to no other place. Our God is not a regional God. Our God is a universal God, and is the only true God, and is everywhere, and you can find it wherever you are. Doesn't matter where you are. Even if you are in the space, if you are an astronaut, you can find him there. Okay? Because he created everything. This is what is so important for us to understand why he is giving these things to the people of Israel. He's giving the values, the really moral values for all humanity. And when he said to you, don't do this, it is not because he is what I call a party pooper, but it's because he wants the best for us. And here is the idea. How many times I have told you about the way that the Creator reveals to his people, in the language and the mentality. Goes from the individual to the general. That's the holistic idea. And look at it, he's talked to the individual. The next step to the individual, what it is? The family. After the family, what it comes? The community. You see, it goes like this. all the world is in this type of pyramid. No? The Creator talks to the opposite. Invert pyramid. Each one of us, we are holders of the community. It's the opposite than the Greeks had taught us. That is the community who holds us. You see, community cannot exist without us. But I can exist without the community. I will be miserable, but I can exist. Then this is a problem that we need to address. And addressing is about the ethics and the moral values that we learn from the Torah in comparison to what we learn from the world. The Creator say, here the blessings and the curses. Today you choose. What I mean today you choose? That means that you and only you, us and only us, we can decide to do right or to do wrong. You cannot any longer say like Eve or like Adam, they made me do it. I did it. I decided to do it. You need to stop blaming others for your own actions. And it's so important, this point, because most of the religions, they love to pass the buck to somebody else. Somebody else is going to pay for your wrongdoings. And this idea, you cannot pay for your own wrongdoings. Somebody else needs to pay for it. And many of us, we have bought the lie. That is a theological lie. Why? Because the Creator constantly say to you what he said to Moshe Rabbeinu. When Moshe Rabbeinu say, please, please, oh God, erase me from your book and forgive them. And he say, no, Moshe, no. Whoever does it is the one that pays for it. That is scriptures. That's his Torah. He doesn't say, get an animal and kill it and pass your sins to the animal. Because even in Vayikra, in Leviticus, very clear is taught that there is no forgiveness for premeditated sins. Wow, what are you trying to tell me, Rabbi? I'm trying to tell you that we have been living under a hocus-pocus situation. We have been, in certain way, dumping a lot of religions in our heads, a lot of theological ideas, who have replaced the Torah, have replaced the scriptures for the truth. What God say very clear through Moshe Rabbeinu and he's telling to these people, you know, you need to be responsible for your own actions. I am telling you what I'm going to do harm to you. But if you do in that way, remember, it's your decision. When I call morality, okay, morality is very important to understand in the sense of humanity. I can see that many of us have different values and different ways to understand what is right and what is wrong. Even many of us, we smell there's something wrong, but we do not want to speak out because we do not want to get in trouble. You know? We are very polite. That's the appeasement. Don't bother, no, it's okay. If they want to think in that way, let them think in that way. But those people who are very, very, in my understanding, very wrong, but very pushy, they're going to push you to the end in order to force you to accept their ways. Even that you do not believe on them. Even that you know that they are wrong. And finally, they make you to accept that they are right and you're wrong. And we're in the society. And indirectly, we are doing nothing new that already we have seen in the scriptures. Do you remember at the time when just before we get into the calling of Abraham Avinu, in Bereshit, in Genesis? Do you remember about the Babel Tower? Do you remember how the people say they were all united, one language, all together? And they say, let's build a pyramid, and we are going to reach the Creator, and we are going to be like Him. Then, in other words, we as humans, we were going to replace the Creator. That has been humanism at that time. It's still humanism today. Believe me or not, those very progressive, very open-minded people of today, they believe that they are outsmart God. You know, they are better than God now. They are more humane, let me put it that way, than God. No? Here in 12:28, doing what is good and right before His eye. Even our sages say, doing good is for God, doing right before men. Good is because God knows the future, and right because men only can see what is today, cannot see the future. But God can see the future. And then good means to go beyond the now. And right is only at the moment, you know, stationary. But what really is Moshe Rabbeinu telling us to do with the Creator? How you hear me so many times telling you what you see is what it is. No more, no less. You know, we need to be people of one face. We don't need to have many faces. We live in a society where hypocrisy is the center of the world. I told you last week that we are living in the generation of the cosmetics. Everything is cosmetics. Everything it is appearances. Funny. You know, today is more important the uniform than what you have here in your heart. Today is more important what other people say than what you believe. Today is more important to follow everybody than to stand up for what is true. I'm going to give an example here in Canada. Now, certain groups have imposed a morality that's totally against the Torah and totally against the moral values of anybody who trusts the Creator. Okay? But instead to give it the freedom to those who do not agree with them, okay? At least to say, well, because of you believe you don't need to agree with them. No, you are forced to agree. If you do not agree, you are punished by law. Human beings are overcoming the law, the universal laws, the laws of the Creator. Exactly like in Babel Tower. And what happened in the Babel Tower? He sent the Creator to all of them in confusion. What is today our world? Our world are all talking to each other? Our world all we have the understanding with each other? We are goody-goody with everybody? We are fighting with everybody. One of the worst things that I mentioned to you last week about Israel. Israel is not what the enemies think about Israel. The worst thing about Israel is that Israel itself is so divided. That's the problem with Israel. There are no unity. By the way, don't confuse unity with uniformity. Each one of us will have the right to see and to think in our ways. But when we come together on the basic values, they are universal. We're here this morning looking at the world and we're being in such a chaotic way. And we are asking ourselves, what is going to happen with the world? Are we secure? Are we going to be safe? And people are more worried about now, in this moment, what is going to happen to them, than about sometimes their own eternity. Why? Because it is a lot of pressure. And by the way, our God is the God of today, now. And we need to build now in order to have in the future. That is part of who we are. That's the part that he told us. We are a generation through another generation. We're continuing generations. We teach our children, and our children teach to our children's children. That's what the Torah needs to be given. Question, are we doing that? You know, many people ask me, why do the Jewish people are different? Because we keep something in common. We keep a unity in our culture. We have certain values. They are very strong in us. And what is the basic values in Judaism? Take care of what? The orphan, the widow, and the immigrant or the foreigner. Take care in this parasha, take care of the poor. Take care of the one that the less blessed we are responsible. This is the true, they call it, the true religion. To help others. To be there for others. What is the world right now focused on? Individualism. And what is for me? What I can get. How I can become rich in 1 hour. How I can become this, and all these things they are selling to you, you know, and you have lost the most important value about an individual, that you form part of the family, and being part of the family, you are part of the community, and you are serving the world. This is why it's so important to understand our values. And we have failed in our families, we are failing in our communities. How we fail in our families? You're going to see more and more homes that are destroyed. More and more homes that children are going through their own ways. They do not have a direction. We are seeing more and more parents trying to cover up their children instead of the children support their parents. We are seeing more and more children without respect to their own parents, and for that reason, no respect to authority, no respect to nothing. We see more and more of that. You know, I said to you last week, today we build more jails than schools. We build more jails than universities. Why? Because now our children are not having leadership. And look at our leadership in our communities. We see more and more crooks instead to be leaders. More and more is coming in every country in the world. You see that one of the leaders is caught for doing something wrong. And they are the examples of the youth. Do you want to be rich? Become a politician. You can rob the rest of the world. That's the idea today. The politician supposedly is the one that serves the people. And today what it is the people who serve the politician. We are in a very chaotic society. That is the reason I say, I am waiting for the time that our God brings the Messiah soon. Because this is a mess. We are in a mess. But still we are here. And like a Mishlei say, that God gave me mouth to speak out for those one who cannot speak for themselves. Gave me ears to listen for those one who cannot hear for themselves. To stand up for injustice. And maybe you will say, but Rabbi, I am only one person. Everything starts with one. And you start building up. And when you are in the side of the Creator, if He is with you, who can be against you? That is not possible. The parasha of this week talks about different subjects, including about the special Hamoedim and how to celebrate the Shalosh Regalim, the 3 special festivals. All of what pointing to something. And I want that you understand about this idea of the pointing of fixing your eyes to Jerusalem. Because right now it's such a problem in the world, you know. Suddenly, a religion is claiming that Jerusalem is the holy city. You know, it's like a Christianity want to claim that is the holy city. You know, the Muslims are claiming, and they don't even consider third holy city in the world, because they have the Mecca, they have the other city, they have other places that are holier than that one. But what if they want it? Do you know that when the Muslims pray to the Mecca, they put the back on Jerusalem? It is so holy. But the Jews, we pray to Jerusalem. That already can tell you simple things. Do you know that the Palestinians were not a peoplehood? That is an invention. Do you know that the Jewish people were the first ones called Palestinians in the modern history? Were the Jewish people, not the Arabs. Do you know that the Jerusalem Post had the name Palestinian Post before it became Israel? Do you know that this idea of the Palestinian people had disappeared long ago? They don't exist. And do you know that those so-called Palestinians, they are neither Palestinians, they are Arabs, yes. They are from Lebanon, from Jordan, or from Egypt. But no one is different. And do you know that it's not Israel the one that doesn't want that they will be free? Is there Arab countries that they have kept them captive? Because all the Arab countries could take them. Do you know that what is called Palestinian now, or the occupied territories that we call it the liberated territories? Do you know that was Jordania? That was under Jordan? And do you know that Gaza was not Palestinian, now the Hamas, but was Egyptian? How many times we need to accept the lies of the world? That is called humanism. And today we are in a battle. The battle of today, that's when the Creator said through Moses Rabbeinu, choose blessings or curses. Choose Him, God the Creator, or choose men. Most of us are choosing men, are choosing the religions, we are choosing their ways and their lies. And we are taken by them. This is why the world is backwards. Because we have learned this lie. We as humans, we are more humane, we are more righteous than God Himself. That is the theory, that's humanism. And you do not need to have any God or anything like that, because we humans, we can solve our own problems without the need of anybody. And look at where we are going. To a next world that is the total destruction. That it is our capabilities. Because we have failed to follow the basic principles that the Torah has given to us. First of all, to have a relationship with the Creator. Secondly, to have a relationship with ourselves. By the way, this is the part that most of us we fail terrible. Why? Because many of us we have a very small sense of worth. You know, 99% of the population in the world, they are full of followers. without own identity. They want to follow somebody else instead to be themselves. They are imitators instead to be themselves. And we're full of imitators instead to be ourselves. And the third part of the Ten Commandments, the mitzvot, a relationship with the Creator, the hukim, a relationship with ourselves, That beautiful say, honor your father and your mother. I talked to you last week. You know how sad it is today that children have not learned to honor their parents? This is, to me, the saddest thing that I have seen in so many homes. And the parents are trying to appease their children. Oh, no, poor little one. I know I'm going to take care of you later on. Don't worry. You can do whatever you want. You can commit murder. Don't worry. You go to jail, I go to visit you to jail. Don't worry. Instead, to help them to be people in this society, productive to this society. And the third one, it is the mishpatim, that is a relationship with our neighbors. My rights ends when the rights of somebody else begins. I don't need to be the bully of the town. I don't need to impose myself to others. I need to learn to respect each other. All those three basic areas, we have lost it. And that's the reason that we as human beings, we think that we are better. And this is the reason where the Creator says, today you choose blessing and curses. And let me tell you, humanity has chosen curses. And we are a cursed people right now because we have decided to follow darkness instead to follow the light. When our Messiah Yeshua, in the beautiful, beautiful terms say, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Please understand this. Not in the Greek way, but understand it in the Hebrew, in the Jesus mentality. Yeshua as a Hebrew man, as an Israeli, as a Sabra. Please understand as a rabbi, as a prophet. Please understand him, what he's saying. At the time in which the world was so religious that they already has almost erased the possibility to pronounce the name of the Creator. The tetragrammaton was eliminated from the mouths of the people for religious reasons. The misunderstanding of do not use my name in vain, they eliminated the pronunciation. And what it say? You shall know the truth. Emet. What is the truth? Who represents the truth? Our Creator. You shall know God, the Creator. And He will make you free. What does it mean to be free? Free of what? The own attachment that you have to your own gods that you have created in your mind. And here is, in this parasha, the Creator, through Moshe Rabbeinu, is saying, do not join to gods that you have never known. Jodeim. And the word Jodea is used here to those gods that you have not known. It's the same that Yeshua said, you shall know the truth. No. What it means? You shall have a true relationship, intimate relationship with the Creator. And don't have intimate relationship with idolaters, with gods that they don't exist. Who do you follow? Who do we follow? Do we follow a religion? Or do we follow the Creator? Have you chosen the path that brings you to Him? Who are you following? Are you listening to men? Or you are listening to the Creator? One of my favorite verses in Jeremiah Hanavi. Cursed be the man who trusts in men. Blessed be the man who trusts in the Creator. And then in the same passage, he says, who can know, again, Judea, who can know the heart of men? Deceitful it is. Our heart, the center of our volition, our understanding, our action, the center of what we do or we don't do. This is the free will, the Hirach of Shear. From here comes everything. Good thoughts, bad thoughts, whatever. Good action, bad actions. Attitudes, whatever. This comes from here. And what he's saying to you? He's saying, who can know this deceitful heart? Even ourselves, as human beings, even ourselves, we lie to ourselves many times. We lie to ourselves. I was telling one person one day, the most difficult thing is to know yourself. This is something that you need to do the rest of your life. And you will surprise, if you are honest with yourself, you will surprise what you will find if you start knowing yourself. To know yourself. But who knows us? I, the Creator, knows the heart of men, and I weigh their heart. I test their hearts. And according to what is there, that is what their situation is dealt. Oh no, but God, I brought you this sacrifice. Oh no, God, I trust in this idea. Oh no, God, I believe in this thing. No, God, I did this. No. Don't come to me with I did or you didn't do. I can read your heart. I finish with this thought to you that it's terrible, but it's interesting. I saw it. Do you know why they invented perfume? To cover up your bad smell. Because at that time, to take a shower was not something that people would do. Then, perfume give you a nice smell until you can go inside the smell that is rotten. I'm telling you, it's like Yeshua say about the tombs and the Perushim. Beautiful outside, marble, white marble and polished, but inside they are rotten. Please, do not look for perfume. Look for honesty and righteousness. That's what the Creator is asking. Choose today. Blessings or curses. That's what the Creator says. Shabbat Shalom.